2014 paper 1 question 1. Intutu had cows, sheep and goat in his farm. The number of cows was 32 and the number of sheep was 12 times the number of cows. The number of goats was 1,344 more than the number of sheep. If he sold 3/4 of the goats, find the number of goats that remained. Now we have cows, they were 32. So we have sheep. Sheep, we are told there were 12 times the number of cows. So it means 32 multiplied by 12. Using your calculator, you get the number of sheep were 384. Then we have goats. We are told that goats were 1,344 more than the number of sheep. So it means that 384 you add to 1,344, and this is equals to 1,728. So those are the animals that he had. After that, we are told he sold 3/4 of the goats. Find the number of goats that remained. If he sold 3/4 of the goats and the number of goats, it means 1/4 was left. So we get 1/4 of 1728, and using your calculator, this is equals to 432 goats. So that's how you work it out, and a very simple way you get yourself format. Question number 2. Use prime factors of 1,764 and 2,744 to evaluate the square root of 1,764 divided by the cube root of 2,744. So the first thing we do is to write the prime factors of the first number, then the second one. You can use, for example, 1,764. You can use this method. You can divide by 2. You get that is 882. Or I prefer the other one. You can use the other one, which I prefer, where we make a vertical line. We write here it is 1764, and we divide by 2. You get 882. Then when you divide by 2, you get 441. We divide by 3, you'll be able to get this is equals to 1. 4 for 12, and 7 for 21. Then we divide by 3 again. We will get 4 for 12 and 9. And 49 can only divide by 7. So we get that is 7. So those are the prime factors. Then we go to 27, 44. We can divide by 2. This will give us 1, 3, 7, 2. We divide again by 2. We will get 6. And then we have 8, 6. We divide again by 2. We get this is 3, 4, 3. We can now divide by 3. That is not possible. We divide by 7. Let's try 7. So we have 7. This will be 4. 4, that will give you 28. We are left with 63. So we get 9. We divide by 7 again. We get 7. So meaning that we can now be able to write our prime factors. That is the square root of 1764. You divide by the root of the cube root of 2,744. We write now this in terms of the prime factors. If you look at the prime factors of 1764, we have 2 squared multiplied by 3 squared multiplied by 7 squared. We divide, that is, we are reading from here. We get the cube root of this. This will give us 2 cubed multiplied by 7 cubed. Now, once you get there, then you should be able to, now here we are getting the square root. So the square root of 2 squared is 2, multiplied by the square root of 3 is 3, and the square root of 7 squared is 7. You divide by the cube root of 2 cubed is 2, multiplied by the cube root of 7 cubed is 7. So we can say here 7 divided by 7 is 1, 2 divided by 2 is 1, here we have 1. So our final answer we get is equals to 3. Now here you get 1 mark for getting the prime factors. You get another mark for getting the square root in this format. So there you get 1 mark, and of course you get 1 mark for the answer. So that is how you work it out. So remember, prime factors, like we use them even when you are getting the LCM, when you are getting the GCD. This is something that you learned in Form 1. Question number 3. We are told the mass of a solid cone of radius 14 centimeter and height 18 centimeter is 4.62 kg. Find the density in centimeter gram. So the first thing that we need to ask ourselves, how do we find the volume of a cone? The volume of a cone or a pyramid is half a third base area, that is pi r squared, you multiply by the height. That is for a cone. Otherwise, pi r squared represents the base area. Now, we have what about the density? The density is equals to mass over volume. Now, with that in mind, what have we been given here? We have been given the radius and the height, so we can be able to get the volume of the cone. Why don't we do that? Volume is equals to a third multiplied by 22 over 7 multiplied by, that is pi, multiplied by r squared, which is 14, multiplied by 14, and you multiply by the height 18, and when you work out that, you should be able to get, using your calculator, that is 3,696, and because our measurements are in centimeter, then this is centimeter cube. You note here that we have been asked to get the density in grams per centimeter cube, and here we have been given mass in kilograms. So we can say 4.2 kg, 1 k, that is 4.62 kg is equals to 1 kg is equals to 1,000 grams. So you multiply this by 1,000, you get this is the same as 4,620 grams. Now we have volume and we have density. So what remains now, we have the mass. So what we find now is the density, which we have said it is mass over volume. The mass is 4,620. That is in grams, and our volume we got, it is 3,696 centimeter cube, and that when you use your calculator, you get it is 1.25 grams per centimeter cube. So that's how you get the density. In terms of awarding marks, you get 1 mark for getting the volume. Then you get for expressing the values that you use to get the density, and finally you get 1 mark for getting the density. That is the answer. So that is how marks are rewarded. It is important that you note where you score marks, so that you don't leave some parts of your working which you are supposed to, where the examiner is supposed to award marks, and therefore you cannot follow your work. So it's important that you follow all the steps orderly. Question number 4. The figure below represents a triangular prism A, B, C, D, E, F. X is a point on BC. As we have our X there, we have been shown there. We have our A, B, C, D, E, F. The question is, part A, draw a net of the prism. You get 2 marks. Find the distance dx. Now, looking at what we have here, it is important to note that we have not been given the measurements of any of the length on our diagram, and therefore you need the original paper, Kcse paper, so that you measure the distance AB. You know the length of AB, the length of BC. Then you'll be able to draw that rectangle that is ABCD. Below BC, you draw now the rectangle A, that is BCEF. So you need to measure from B to F so that you'll be able to draw the triangle, the rectangle. And above AD, you'll be able to draw, to measure that is AF, and you draw the rectangle AFED. When you do that, you have a figure which now on the space provided, and that will be the net of the prism. Then from there, you are required to find the distance dx. On the net that you have drawn, you use a ruler, and you can use your divider and a ruler to measure the length of dx. And once you measure the length of dx, this angle here is 90. Therefore, once you get that distance, you just write it here. So let's see how the question outcome should look like. So this is how your diagram should look like. Can't say mine is proportional, but now that is the net. And then once this is where I've said you join D to X. Using a divider, you can put one point there and the other point there. Then you can place it on the ruler. And when you place it on the ruler, you'll be able to minus 0.1. So that is the measurement. So how do you award marks? The examiner will check whether you have put the angles correctly. These are 90, the angles are 90 degrees. Then you check whether you have labeled. So angles, correct angles, you get 1 mark. Then labeling, you get another mark, and then you get a bonus point. All these are bonus point 1, and a bonus point for getting the correct measurement. So that is how the examiner will award you marks in this question. So question number 5. A businessman makes a profit of 20% when he sells a carpet for 36,000 Kenyan shillings. In a trade fair, he sold such a carpet for Kenyan shillings 33,600. Calculate the percentage profit made on the sale of the carpet during the trade fair. Now, the first thing you should calculate is the cost of the carpet. And since by selling that is 6,000, the businessman was making 20%, then the cost price of the carpet is equals to this 36,000 is 120%. So we say that 6,000 divide by 120%, and you get the 100%. This means this is what the businessman had bought the carpet, and you use your calculator, you should be able to get 30,000. So that was the cost of the carpet. Now he sold the carpet at that 3,600. So you can calculate the percentage profit by subtracting. He sold it at that 3,600. You minus the cost of the carpet was 30,000. And you divide by 100, you divide by the cost of the carpet, that is 30,000, you multiply by 100. So you use your calculator, and you should be able to get, that is he made 12% profit. So that is how you work out that. In terms of awarding the marks, you will be awarded a mark here for calculating that. So that is 1 mark. You will be awarded mark here for writing the expression of getting the percentage profit. And of course, you get 1 mark for getting the percentage. That is the answer. So that is how the marks are distributed. 2014 paper 1 question 6, we are told to simplify. So for us to be able to solve this question, we need to write 243 to the powers of 3, 125 to the powers of 5, and 9 to the powers of 3. So 243 is the same as 3 to power 5. So you can close the bracket. This is minus 2 over 5, not 3 over 5. You multiply by 125 is the same as 5 cubed, which you can put inside the bracket. We have 2 over 3. All this is divided by 3 squared into bracket minus 3 over 2. So this is equals to, when you open the bracket, we have 3, we have 5 multiplied by minus 2 over 5, multiplied by 5 to power 3, multiplied by 2 over 3. All this is divided by 3 to power 2 multiplied by minus 3 over 2. So that is equals to, so here 5 divided by 5 is 1, and here 3 divided by 3 is 1, and here 2 divided by 2 is 2. So we can have 3 to power minus 2. Here we have 3 to power minus 3. So when it comes to the numerator, it will be 3 to power 3. So we add 3 there. You multiply by 5 multiplied by 2. So this is equals to 3 multiplied by, so minus 2 plus 3 is 3 multiplied by 5 squared, that is 25, and that should give you 75. So that is how you work out that, and you get yourself 3 marks. Question number 7. The area of a sector of a circle, radius 2.1, is 2.31 centimeters squared. The arc of the arc of the sector subtends an angle theta at the center of the circle. Find the value of theta in radians correct to 2 decimal places. Now, for us to be able to do that, in form 2, you are told area is equals to theta divided by, now angle, you note here that 360 degrees is equals to 2 pi. You learned about the radians in form 3. So instead of putting, because we are working with radians, we put 2 pi. Let's go back to that. We got 2 pi, which is the same as 360 multiplied by pi r squared. So now, since we have the area is equals to 2.31. It is equals to theta divided by pi, 2 pi, multiplied by pi, multiplied by the radius, which is 2.1 times 2.1, that is the radius squared. So with this, now you realize that now theta is going to, you divide theta and pi and pi, and therefore we can put theta on one side, and we say theta is equals to, now we multiply 2.31 by 2, which is the denominator here, and we divide by 2.1 multiplied by 2.1. Instead of struggling to simplify, you just use your calculator to get the answer, and that should be equals to 1.05 radians. And the question is 2 marks. So where do you get the mark? Well, the first mark you get is here. So there you get 1 mark for applying the correct method, and you get 1 mark for the answer, totaling to 2 marks. So that's how you work out that question. 2014 paper 1 question 8, we are told to expand and simplify x plus 2y into bracket squared minus 2y minus 3 into bracket squared. So we can write this as x plus 2 and x plus 2 minus 2y minus 3, and we have 2y minus 3, close the bracket. So from there we can now cite this is x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 4 close the bracket minus 2, this will be 4y squared minus 6y plus 9, close the bracket. So we write this again is equals to x squared, this will be plus 4x plus 4 minus, now this will be 4y, this will be minus 12, minus 6y, minus 6y is minus 12. When you open the bracket, the minus and minus changes to positive, so that will be 12y, this is 4y squared, and then we have minus 9. So this is equals to, we had put the direct terms together, so we have x squared, then we have plus 4x, this is 4 plus minus 9, that will be minus 5, then we have minus 4y squared, then we have plus 12y, which we can write it properly as x squared not plus but minus 4y squared, then we have plus 4x plus 12y minus 5. So that's how you simplify and expand. You get yourself 2 marks. Question number 9. A plane leaves an airstrip L and flies on a bearing of 040 degrees to airstrip M 500 kilometers away. The plane then flies on a bearing of 316 to an airstrip N. The bearing of N from L is 350. By scale drawing, determine the distance between stripes M and N. Now, to approach this question, you need a ruler, you need your protractor to be able to measure the angles. And when you are covering bearings in Form 2, the best approach is to, first of all, to make a sketch, and then you can draw the actual drawing. So if you read that a plane leaves, flies strip L and flies on a bearing, so you come here and say that is your compass. So you say this is 040 degrees, 040 degrees, and this is our M. Once you get to M, it flies on a bearing of 316 to L, to N, that is. So you say you are going to measure 316 angle. So this is 316 degrees, which is the same as you can measure angle 44 from north to the left. That is, this angle is 44. That will still give you 316. The bearing, so this is our L. So the bearing of N from L is 350. So you draw another line here, 350, and that will give you the N. This angle here is now again you measure 350 degrees. So that is the sketch. Now from there, then you use the actual drawing. Then you make the actual drawing using these angles. So let's do that. You start by making a compass. This is the node, and when you do that, then the next step is to plot to draw an angle of 40 degrees at that point. So let's go ahead and draw the angle. So using a protractor, and on your compass you have drawn, which should be 90 degrees, you measure an angle of 40 degrees, and I have chosen a scale of 1 centimeter represent 100 kilometers. So here I have measured 5 centimeter to get, so this is our point M. Then I have drawn a compass at that point where I have measured 5 centimeter. And to make it easier, I have extended this line here, this line, so that at that point, using a protractor, I'll be able to plot a vertical line, which is going to give me 90 degrees. And then using this point, using the line that I use this 90 and this line, then I'll draw a perpendicular here using the protractor to come up, because your compass must be 90. Otherwise, if the compasses are not 90, you will not get the correct length or bearings. So from there, I have measured an angle of, on my second compass, I have measured the angle 316, as we are told that that is a bearing of the plane flies on a bearing of 316 degrees, which is the same as, because you know up to there it is 270, so you can say 316, you subtract 270, then you have this is 6, this is 4, so it is the same as measuring angle 46 at that point. From that is 270, that will give you a total of 316, and you draw that line. So the next thing is, we are told the bearing of N from L is 350, so you come at L, measure an angle of 350, which is the same as 10 degrees from in the and clockwise direction from the north, and that will give you the line which you will join with this one, or which you will cross with this one. Then you will be able to measure the distance between airstrip M and N. So let's do that. So when you measure an angle of 350, that is where you go, you draw your line, which you meet with the line from M. So this is our M, this is now our N. And the question is, by scale drawing, determine the distance between airstrip M and N. If you measure from N to where the two lines have, from M to where the two lines have intersected, you find that MN is equals to 6.8 centimeter. And because we had defined our scale as 1 centimeter represent 100 kilometers, so it means that this is equals to 680 kilometers, and that is how you work out that question. So the sketch is the one that will guide you, and you must make sure that your compasses are proportional, and the node for this one is same direction. So you must be very careful when you are measuring those angles, and that is how you work out that question. So 2014 paper 1 number 10, the sum of interior angles of a polygon is 1800 degrees. Find the size of the exterior angle. So we say that let exterior angle be x. So we know if the exterior angle is x degrees, the interior is 180 minus x, because they add up to 180. Again, since we can be able, since the angle at the center of the polygon is the same as the exterior angle, to know the number of sides of the polygon, we can divide the sum of 360 by x. That will give us the number of sides. So once you get the number of sides, we can, to get the interior angle, we say it is with the sum of the exterior interior angle divided by the number of sides, which we have said it is 360 degrees divided by x. That is equivalent to, that is the exterior angle, what we had given here, that is 180 minus x degrees. So if we find x, we have manage to get the exterior angle. So once you say it is 1800 multiplied by x over 360 is equals to 180 minus x, and these are degrees. You can divide here. You divide by 0, then that the 6 divide 180 divide by that 6, you get 5. So you have 5x is equals to 180 minus x. So bring x to the other side, we have 6x is equals to 180 degrees. So x is equals to, you divide both sides by 6, that you get is equals to 30 degrees, which we had said that the exterior angle is x. So that is how you work out the question, and you get yourself 3 marks. So question number 11, we are told a cow is 4 years 8 months older than a heifer. The product of their ages is 8 years. Determine the age of the cow and that of the heifer. So this question we can start by saying, let age of the cow be x. Therefore, if the age of the cow is x, the age of the heifer is x minus. Now, we convert 8 months to years. So this is 4 and 8 over 12 months. So this is equals to, it will be 4. You divide by 4, this will be 2 and 3 years. So that is, you multiply by 4, 2, let's work with one color. So we have multiplied by 4, 2 over 3. And when you multiply the two ages, you should be able to get 8. Now, what remains here is we open the bracket. We will be able to say this is x squared minus, this is the same as, this is 1214 over 3x. Bring x 8 to this side, you say minus 8 is equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation. We can make it appear better by multiplying throughout by 3. So you have 3x squared minus 14 over 3x multiplied by 3 will remain 14x. Then we have minus 8 times 3 is 24, and that gives you is equals to 0. So this is a quadratic equation, and the coefficient of x is not equals to 1, it is 3. So we get two numbers, a plus b should give us minus 14, and a multiplied by b should give us 3 multiplied by minus 24 will give us minus 72. So when you do that, you'll be able to get this. Now, okay, you can do that by taking the 72. So you say 72, you would say by 2 is 36. That cannot work. What about by 2? You get 18. 18 times 4 is 72. So if we put minus 18 times 4 that will give us minus 72. When you add, you get minus 14. So we can use that to get our expression. So we say this is x squared minus 18x plus 4x, and this is minus 24 is equals to 0. So we factor out what is common. We have 3x. Here we'll be left with 3 minus 6. And here we factor out positive 4. We will be left with x minus 6 is equals to 0. We write the factors. So we have x, we factor out x minus 6. And we'll be left with x, that is 3x plus 4 is equals to 0. So here you'll be able to get that the value of x, that is, we say x is equals to 6, or when you take my 4 to the other side, becomes minus 4 divided by 3, you get minus 4 over 3. And because we are talking of age, age cannot be negative, so you ignore that. And because we had defined the age of cow to be x, cow is equals to, a cow is 6 years, and heifer, if you subtract 6 minus 4 and 2/3, you'll be able to get it is 1 1/3 years, which you can also say it is 1 year and 4 months, because a third of a year is 4 months. So that is how you work out that question. Of the mark, you get 1 mark here. That's what we call the method mark. You get method mark there. You come and get the method mark for forming the quadratic equation. Get another mark for working out the solving the quadratic equation, and you get a bonus mark for being able to write the age of the cow and the age of the heifer. 2014 paperwork number 12, we are told solve 4 less than or equals to 3x minus 2 less than 9 plus x. Hence, list the integral values that satisfies the inequality. So to do this question, we start by, first of all, working on this side. So we work on those. Once we have that, so we have 4x, not 4x, but 4 less than or equals to 3x minus 2. We take 2 to the other side. You get it will be positive. So 4 plus 2 will be 6 less than or equals to 3x. Divide both sides by 3. So when you divide by 3, you get 3 by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that is 1. So we now have 2 less than or equals to x. Then after you do that, you take the other side. That is, you take this other 2. So you say 3x minus 2 is less than 9 plus x. So we take x to this side, becomes negative. So 3x minus x is 2x. We take 2 to the other side, becomes positive. So 9 plus 2, we get 11. Divide by 2 both sides. So when you divide by 2, then 2 divided by 2 is 1. So 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. Now we have our x is less than 5.5. We can combine now this by starting with x. We say x is less than 5.5 and this is greater than or equals to 2. So that is you have solved. So hence reach the integral values that satisfies the inequality. The integral values, since this is x is less than or equals to 2, so 2 is part of the integral values. Then we have 3, we have 4 and 5. So that's how we work out that question. You get yourself 3 marks. Question number 13. The figure below shows a rectangular container of dimension 40, 25 and 90. A cylindrical pipe of radius 7.5 centimeter is fitted in the container as shown. So we have the diagram there. We have the pipe. Water is poured into the container in the space outside the pipe such that the water level is 80% of the height of the container. Calculate that is 80%. Calculate the amount of water in liters in the container correct to 3 significant figures. So it means that for us to be able to get the volume of water 80%, we have to subtract the volume of the pipe because it is not being occupied by water. And for us to be able to do that, first of all, we need to get the volume of the container. The volume, you minus the volume of the pipe. So this will be the volume of the container is 90 multiplied by that is we can start. Let's start with the 40 multiply by 25, you multiply by 90. That's the volume, the total volume of the container. You subtract the volume of the pipe, which is the base area, 22/7, multiply pi r squared, that is the r is 7.5 squared. You multiply by the height, which is 90. So when you work out that using the calculator, you should be able to get 90,000. You subtract this will give you 15,910. We can put one decimal place, and when you subtract that, you get it is 74 using your calculator. Points, not point, but 74. That is 0.89 and 89 point. We put one decimal place, and that will give us 3. Now that is the volume of the tank. Subtract when we take away the volume of the pipe. So this means that we can be able to get 80% of this. 80% is equals to implies that it will be now 74. What we have got there, 74 089 89.3. Then you should be able to multiply by 80 divide by 100, and when you multiply that, you should be able to get 59 271.4. These are centimeter cube, and we are told to express in terms of liters, and therefore for us to do that, we divide this by 1,000. We divide by 1,000 because one centimeter cube is equal to 1,000, and that should give you 59.3 liters, because we are told to three significant figures. Three significant figures, you take 59. The next number is 2. That is 59.2. The next number is 7. So we add 1 to 2, we get that. We get that is 59.3, and this is to 3 decimal places. So that's how you work out that, and you get 4 marks. Let's see that the distribution of marks. So for the distribution of marks, you get 1 mark there. For getting the differences in volume, you get another mark there. For getting 80%, you get 1 mark for converting to liters, and finally you get a mark for getting the answer to 3 significant figures. So that's how you marks will be awarded. Question number 14, we are told a minor arc of a circle subtends an angle of 105 degrees at the center of the circle. If the radius of the circle is 8.4 centimeter, find the length of the major arc. Take pi to be 22/7. So the first thing that you would ask yourself, how do we get the length of the arc? So you say arc length is equals to theta over 360 multiplied by 2 pi r. That is a circumference, 2 pi r. Now let's understand the angles here. So we can take this just as a sketch of a circle. So if we are told this is a minor arc, it subtends an angle of 105 degrees. This is the angle of the major arc, and therefore for you to get the radius is 8.4 centimeter. So major arc length is equals to, now we will take the angle which is we can say, first of all, let's get the angle. So this angle is 360 degrees minus 105 degrees. That should give you 255 degrees. So the major arc will be 255 degrees divided by 360 degrees. You multiply by 2, multiply by pi, which we have been told to use 22/7, multiply by the radius, which is 8.4. So you should work out that. Just use your calculator and compute that. You will be able to get the area is 37.4 and that should be centimeter squared. So that is how you work out that question. Let's see how we award the mark. So you would get 1 mark. There is a, you can say you get 1 mark for getting the angle of the major arc. You get 1 mark for work a formula of finding the length of the major arc, and you get 1 mark for getting the answer. That adds up to 3 marks. Question number 15. 25 machines working at a rate of 9 hours per day can complete a job in 16 days. A contractor intends to complete the job in 10 days using similar machines working at the rate of 12 hours per day. Find the number of machines the contractor requires to complete the job. So here what we should look for is he wants to reduce the number of days to complete the job, meaning that he has to increase the machine. Now, he has increased the working hours from 9 to 12. So what we normally say, we say how many machines are needed. We say machines, we use M, they are 25. How many hours are they working? They are working 9 hours. How many days do they need to complete the job? 16 days. So that is the first scenario. So because he intends to complete the job in 10 days, so we put 10 days. Then we have how many hours? They will be working 12 hours. So we need to find the machine. So to find the machine, we normally say this is the machines that are needed. The ones that were used were 25. So for us to, so the argument here that we put across is if we increase the number of hours from 9 to 12, what will happen to the machine? So you need less machine to do the work, because these ones are working 12 hours and these are working 9. So you need less machines. So you say the machine will decrease in the ratio of 9 is to 12. Then we say if you decrease the number of days from 16 to 10, what will happen? You need to increase the machine, and you increase the machine in the ratio in which you are reducing the number of days. So it will be 16 divided by 10. So when you work out that, you can cancel, you can simplify. For example, you can say by 5, that is 2. By 5, you get 5. By 2, you get 1. You get 8. By 4, you get 3. By 4, you get 2. So we have by 3, you get 1. By 3, you get 3. So we can multiply 5 times 3. That will give us 15. 15 times 2, that will give us 30. So he needed 30 machines to be able to complete the job in 10 days instead of 16 days and working for 12 hours. So that is how you work out that. Let's look at how the marks are distributed, because you are supposed to get 3 marks. In terms of marks distribution, depending on how you have organized your work, you should be able to get 1 mark there for arranging your work, then expressing the work like that. That is to be able to get the number of machines, and finally you get 1 mark. However, you may have your own way that you arrange, but I recommend this is the best way to argue that this kind of questions. But if you are able to express, to find a method that you'll be able to give you 30 and it is correct and it is logical, then you should be at the 3 marks. So that's how you work out that. Question number 16, we are told points A minus 2, 2 and B minus 3, 7 are mapped onto A prime 4 minus 10 and B prime 0, 10 by an enlargement. Find the scale factor of the enlargement. So the approach of this, we can say, let's find AB. AB is the same as OB, that is a procedural way, minus OA. OB you get by inverting the coordinates of B or writing it in column form, so that will be minus 3, 7. You minus minus 2, 2, that is OA when you invert the coordinates of A, and this should give you, this is 3 minus minus 2 is the same as 3 minus 3 plus 2, that will give you minus 1, and then you have 7 minus 2, that will give you 5. So that is AB. To get the magnitude of AB, you'll be able to get, it is a square root of minus 1 squared, that is, we put it the other way, that is minus 1 squared plus 5 squared, which is equals to the square root of 26. That is minus 1 squared is 1, 5 squared is 25. You get the square root of 26. So that's how you work out that. Then we go to AB prime. It is equals to, we should say it is OB prime minus OA prime, which we just invert OB prime and we write it in column form, that is 0, 10. You minus OA should be 4 minus 10, and that should give you 0 minus 4, that is minus 4, and the 10 minus minus 10 is 10 plus 10, that will give you 20. So those are the magnitude of A and B. From there, okay, we get the magnitude of AB prime, and that should give you the square root of 4 minus 4 squared, that is minus 4 squared plus 20 squared. So this is the square root of 16 plus 400, that should give you the square root of 416. So to get the enlargement factor, can write it like that, our enlargement scale factor, I can put S there. It is equals to, we get the image, the magnitude of the image, that is 416, you divide by the magnitude of the image, that is 2 the square root of 26. So this should give you, you can combine this and say this is 416 divided by 26, which will give you the square root of 16, and the square root of 16 is 4. So enlargement scale factor is 4, and this is how you get, you'll be awarded marks. You'll be awarded marks for getting the magnitude, the vectors and the magnitude. So there you get 1 mark. Then you'll be able to get marks by getting the formula of finding the enlargement scale factor. And finally, you get a mark for the answer, totaling to 3 marks. So that's how you approach that question. 2014, paper 1, question 17. We are told a line passes through points minus 2, 3, and minus 1, 6, and perpendicular to the line P at minus 1, 6. Find the equation of L. So this is our A. Equation of L, first of all, we calculate the gradient. So gradient of L is equals to, we say it is 6 minus 3 divided by minus 1, minus 2, that changes to positive, so we have positive 2 is equals to 3 divided by 1, which is equals to 3. So that is the gradient. The moment you get the gradient, then you can find the equation. So we use one of the points. Let's use minus 2, 3. So we say y minus 3 divided by x minus 2, that becomes positive, is equals to 3. So you cross multiply, y minus 3 is equals to 3x plus 6. Take 3 minus 3 to the other side becomes positive. Y is equals to 3x plus 9. So that is the equation of L1. We come to part B. Let's start B, part A. So this is part B. Find the equation of P in the form of ax plus by is equals to c, where a, b, and c are constant. So because this line P is perpendicular to line L, its gradient is equals to minus a third, because when you multiply minus a third times 3, you get minus 1. So to get the equation, we are going to use this point. So you say y minus 6 divided by x minus 1, that becomes positive, is equals to minus a third. So once you get there, then you can cross multiply. You get y is equals to minus a third, and then plus you get minus a third plus minus a third plus 17 over 3. 17 over 3. So over 3, you can multiply by 3, so you get 3y. So here you have x, then we can have x on the other side. So our equation will be x plus 3y is equals to 17. So that's how you do that. So that is part B. We go to part C. Part C, we say we are told, given that another line Q is parallel to L and passes through 1, 2, find the x and y intercept. So if it is parallel, then it means gradient is equals to 3. So we can so if it is parallel, then the gradient is the same. So the gradient of Q is equals to 3. So we can get the equation. So we use this point 1, 2. So we say y minus 2 divided by x minus 1 is equals to 3. When you cross multiply that, you get y is equals to, so this will be 3x minus 3, and then we take 2 to the other side, so it will be 3 minus 1. So once you get the equation, then you can be able to say x intercept, that is when x is 0, so x is equals to 0, it means y is equals to minus 1. That is the y intercept. When y is equals to 0, it means that 0 is equals to 3x minus 1, meaning that x is equals to 1 over. So that means x intercept is a third and y intercept is minus 1. So from there, we go to part D of the question, where we are told find the point of intersection of P and Q. The equation of line P, we have our line P is x plus 3y is equals to 17. Then we have the equation of our Q, which we have here. It is y is equals to 3x minus 1. So since the point of intersection, x, the value of x and y are equal, we can now substitute our y in the first one. That is, we write x plus 3 instead of y, we write now 3x minus 1 is equals to 17. So when you simplify this, now that you have one unknown, you find that this is x plus 9x minus 3 is equals to 17. You simplify and you find your x is equals to 2. When x is equals to 2, you can now substitute here. So you multiply is equals to 3 times 2, that is 6 minus 1. So y is equals to 5. So the point of intersection of P and Q is actually 2 and 5. So that's how you work out that question. And I hope you have followed how we have gone all about it. This is question number 18, and we are told the length in centimeter of pencils used by pupils in a standard 1 class on a certain day were recorded as follows. So we have 3 centimeters, 7, 9, up to 11. The data is mixed up. So part A, we are told using a class width of 3 and starting with the shortest length of the pencil, make a frequency distribution table for the data. So I'm going to make my frequency distribution table here, and I'll have the first column, which I'll label as the class. Then I have another column for the midpoint. I'll use MP, which I use as X. Then I'll have another column, and this column will be for the frequency, which is F, and the last column will be for the product of Fx, that is the midpoint and the frequency. So I'll start with the lowest data here. You can observe it is 3. So I'll say my class, the first class is from 3 to 5. Those are 3, the class width is 3. So if you check, the midpoint here is 4. So how many are they? So we have that is 1, that is 3, this is another one, and that's another one. We don't have another one, so they are 3. So that is the frequency. The next class is from 6 to 8. The midpoint is 7. Then we get the number of data that are in between 6 and 8. We check from our data here. So we will start with 7, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have 5, we have 6, and then we have 7. Those are 7. Let's check whether there is another one. Those are 7. We have 8. So they are 8. So the frequency is 8. Then our next class is from 9 to 11. 9 to 11. The midpoint is 10. Then we check the number of data that are in between 9 and 11. So this will be, we have 1, we have 2, we have 2, we have 3, then we have 4, we have 5, we have 6, we have 7, we have 8, we have 9, we have 10, 11, 12, 13. So they are 13. So we have 13. Our next class is from 12 to 14. The midpoint here is 13. So we count the number of data in between 12 and 14. So here we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, we have 6, we have 7, we have 7, we have 8, we have 9 and 10. So they are 10. So the frequency here is 10. The next class is 15 to 17. The midpoint is 16. So we get the number of data in between that class. So between 15 and 17, then we have, this is 1. We have 2, we have 3, we have 3, and we have 4. So the number of data there is 4. The next class is 18 to 20. The midpoint is 19. We get the number of data in between that class. So we have 20. I think there are only 2 remaining. So we have the number of data there is 2. So that is what we get. Then we multiply frequency times the midpoint, and here we will be able to get 4 times 3 is 12, 7 times 8 is 56. Then we have 10 times 13 will give us 130. 13 times 10, 13 times 10, you get 130. Then we have 16 multiplied by 4, you get 64. So that will give us 64. And finally, we have 19 times 2. That will give us 38. So we put a line there. You are going to add this. You will use your calculator to get the sum of fx. And when you add up this, you get 430. The frequency you add, you get it is 40. So that is the frequency distribution table, which you get 2 marks. Then we have calculate the mean length of the pencil. To get the mean, we get the mean. We use x bar. It is normally calculated summation of fx divided by summation of f, which is equals to summation of fx is 430. You divide by summation of f, which we got 40, and when you divide using your calculator, you get that is 10.75. So that is the mean. The second part of part B, the percentage of pencils that were longer than 8 centimeter but shorter than 15 centimeter. So if you look at the number of pencils that were longer than 8, they are from that is from 9 to 11 and 12 to 14. So that is the range. So we can say 13 plus 10, that will give us the 23. So we say this is 23 divided by the total number of the pencils. You multiply by 100, and using your calculator, you'll be able to get that is 57.5%. So those are the pencils that were in between 8 centimeter but shorter than 15 centimeter. We go to part C. On the grid provided, draw a frequency polygon for the data. So to plot the frequency polygon, we are going to use a midpoint and the frequency. So I'm going to do that on the graph. So this is the graph paper that I'm going to use. I've said that we use a midpoint and the frequency. I've already inserted the midpoint and the corresponding frequency. So I'll start here. On the vertical scale, I'll have as 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and that is 14. So this is my frequency. Then along the x-axis, here I will use 2. I'll say 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. We have 20. We can have 22, 24. So that is our length of the pencil. So this is the length of pencil. So we have our first class was from 3 to 5, and the midpoint was 4. So we can start. The previous class must have been from 0, that is 1 to that is 0 to 3. So the midpoint must have been 2. Then the other class is from 3 to 5. The midpoint is 4 and the frequency is 3. The frequency is 3, so we put our point here. The second class, the midpoint was 7 and the frequency was 8. So we have our 7. Let's correct that. The midpoint of the first one must have been 1 because the class is from 0, 1 and 2. Then the other one, the midpoint was 4 and the frequency was 3. So that is where we have our point. The second one, the midpoint was 7 and the frequency was 8. So we have 7 and the frequency was 8. So 7 is somewhere there. Then we have the other one. Midpoint was 10 and the frequency was 13. So that is where we have our 13. The next one was the midpoint was 13 and the frequency was 10. So 13 and 10. So that's where we have 13 and 10. Then we have the next one was 16 and 4. So the frequency was 4 and the midpoint was 16. Then we have 19. The frequency was 2. So we have our 2 there. So from 20, we have 21, 22, 23. So the midpoint must have been 22. From there, we join this point and we'll come up with the frequency, the polygon. So this is a frequency polygon. And the distribution of the mark is you are given mark for the scale. Plotting you get 1 and the curve you get 1. So that is how you earn marks in this section. Let's go back to the other section and see how the marks were distributed. So in this one you get a mark for getting the midpoint. You get another mark for identifying the frequency, and you get another mark for multiplication and addition to get the total fx. When it comes to the mean, you get 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the answer. Then for this one, you get 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the answer. And the total, you should be at total up to 10 marks. So that's how you are supposed to answer that question. This is from the Form 2 topic, statistics, where you are taught the statistics one. Question number 19, we are told the figure below represents a speed time graph for a cheetah which covered 825 meters in 40 seconds. So we have the graph there. The vertical scale is the speed, and the horizontal scale represents time. So part A, state the speed of the cheetah when recording of its motion started. So if you look at the graph, the recording along the y-axis, the speed was 15 meters per second the time the recording started. Part B, calculate the maximum speed attained by the cheetah. So how do we get the maximum speed? We normally, to get the speed, we know that the area under the graph represent the distance covered. So we can get this height here. So we can get this height here and say if we divide our then we can be able to get the area. So we can call this height. Since we already know the area is 825, we can get the area of this. This is 15. This is our height. So from here to here it is 10. So this is this will be 2 trapezium, 1 and 2. So we say with the area, that is the distance covered, is a half. We add 15 and height, so it is 15 plus height, and we multiply by 10. That is this 10. So we multiply by 10. Then we add the area of this, we get, it is a half. Here it is 10. Here it is 30, because we have subtracted 10. So we say it is 10 plus 30, and you multiply by the height. That should give you the total distance covered by the cheetah, which we are given is 825. So you can compute this. This is you can divide here by 10, you get 5. So you get this is 75. 75. Then we have plus 5h. Then we have plus 20h. That is when you simplify here. That should give you 825. So you'll be able to get, you add 25 height, you subtract 75 from 825, you'll be able to get 750. So h, you divide by 15 both sides, you get height is 30 meters per second. So it means the height, that is the maximum height reached here is 30 meters per second. So which we can be able to write here. So that is how we work part B. Then we have C, calculate the acceleration of the cheetah in the first 10 seconds. So 10 seconds acceleration, we say acceleration is equals to initial velocity, which we say it is v minus u over t. Final velocity is 30 minus, that is for up to there, this is the first 10 seconds, minus 15, that is initial velocity, and you divide by 10, and that you should be able to get 1.5 meters per second. Roman number 2, how do we, the last 20 seconds. So the initial velocity acceleration is equal to final velocity is 0, so it is 0. Initial velocity is 30, and it took from here to here, it is 20. So you divide by 20, and when you divide like that, then you should be able to get it is minus 1.5 meters per second. The minus represent deceleration. You can see the cheetah is decelerating or reducing in speed. So let's have a look at part D. So part D, we can say, okay, we can use, we can divide. Calculate the average speed of the cheetah in the first 20 seconds. So 20 seconds is up to there. So we can divide this area to get the average speed. We can divide this area into 2. So we get the area of the first, trapezium. So we say it is a half into bracket 15. This is 15, and this is 30. The height which we have found. Maybe I use a brighter color. So let's use this color. So you say it is a half. We say it is a half into bracket 15 plus 30. That is 30. That is you multiply by 10. That is this is 10 here, and then you add the area of the other one will be 10 multiplied by 30. So that is the total distance that will be the area under the graph up to where we have 20, and we divide by time. Time is 20 seconds. So using your calculator, you'll be able to get that is 225 plus 300. You divide by 20, and you'll be able to get this is equals to 26.25 meters per second squared. No, per second, not per second. So because it is average speed. So that is how you work out this question. This is Form 2 work in the topic linear motion, which you covered in Form 2. You can check on my video. If you are not sure of how we have gone about it, you'll be able to understand more. So this is question number 20. The figure below shows a right pyramid, a VABCDE. The base ABCD is a regular pentagon. AO is 15 centimeters, so this is 15. VO is 36 centimeters, so that is 36. So we are required to calculate a area of the base correct to 2 decimal places. So the area of the base is a regular pentagon, as we are told. So for us to be able to get the area, we will need to get the area of, we can divide the pentagon into 5 triangles, as I'm going to show. So these are the 5 triangles. So if we get the area of one triangle multiplied by 5, that will give us the area of the base. Now we can get the, this side is 15. The triangles are isosceles. we can be able to get that angle because the total angle is 360. So we divide by 5, and that will give us each angle is 72 degrees. So this angle is 72 degrees. So with that, we can be able to get the area of the base. So we say area of the base is equals to 5 triangles multiplied by, we use the formula, half AB sine theta. So we say it is a half. You multiply by 15, multiply by 15, multiply by the sine of 72, and using your calculator, you should be able to get 534.17, and this is centimeter squared. So that is the area of the base, which is a pentagon. So this is 360 divided by 5 to get 72 degrees. So that is how you work the first part of the question. Part B, we are told the length AV, we calculate AV. AV is a slanting side, and if you look at triangle AVO, it is a right angle triangle. So we can use the Pythagoras theorem, and we say, therefore, this implies that using the Pythagoras theorem, AV is equals to the square root. The vertical side is 36 squared. You add 2, that is the square root of 36. Plus 15 squared, and that will give you the square root of 1296 plus 225, which is equals to the square root of 1521, which you get it is 39 centimeters. So the slanting side AV is 39 centimeters. We come to part C of the question. Part C of the question, we are told to find the surface area of the pyramid correct to 2 decimal places. Now, already we have the area of the base, so what remains is to find the area of the slanting triangles, the 5 of them, and we add to the area of the base. Now, the area of the base, how do we get the area? We can take this triangle that is AOB, like that. This is O, this is A, B. It is 15, and it is 15. We want to get AB. Because we already have AV, we can use the Hero's formula to find the area of the slanting triangle. So this angle here is 36, and this is 36, because the total is 72. So we can get the length of AB, which you say the sine of 36, this is sine of 36 degrees is equals to a half, which is the opposite, a half AB divided by the hypotenuse, which is 15. And when you do that, you'll be able to get AB is equals to 30, the sine of 36. And using your calculator, you'll be able to get that is 17.63 centimeter. Now, using the Hero's formula, we can get this is we get S is equals to 39 plus 39 plus that is 2 slanting sides, 39 AB and VB, and then we have AB, which is 17.63, and you divide by 2. That is how you get S. So that will give you 47.84. And therefore the area, we'll be able to get the area of the area is equals to multiply 5, multiply by the square root of 47.84 into bracket 47.84 minus 39. Then you have 47.84 minus 39, and finally we have 47.84 minus 17.63. 17 point, that is the length of that side, 17.63, and that will give you the area. So because of space, you just use your calculator and you should be able to get 1675.62. Then you add to the area of the base, which we got, it is 5. We got it is 5, where did we get that? 534.17. So the total area you'll be able to get, it is equals to 2000, to give you 2210.19. So you just need to use your calculator to get the area, and this is centimeter squared. Then from there, we are supposed to get area, the volume of the pyramid. Volume is equals to that base area times height. We already have the base area, so it's that multiplied by 534.17, and the height, we know it is 36, so that should give you 6419.64 using your calculator. This is centimeter cubed because it is volume, which we say it is roughly 6420 to 4 centimeter cube, and this is to 4 significant figures. So that is how you work out that. Let's see how marks are awarded. So here you get a method mark, you get a bonus point, and you get a 1 mark for the answer. Then part B, you get a bonus point, 1 bonus point. Then we have part C. We have, this is here where we get a bonus point. Then so that you get the 1 mark here. That is another method mark for applying the hero's formula. You get 1 method for the answer. And here you get 1 mark for the answer, and for the method, and 1 mark for the answer. Here you also get 1 method for the answer. So that's how the marks are distributed in this question. So this is from the 3D topic, and if you are not sure of how you have worked it out, you can get to my lesson on 3D, and you'll be able to understand how we work out this kind of questions. In this question, you are told A, complete the table below for the function y is equals to x squared minus 3x plus 6 in the range minus 2 less than or equals to x less than or equals to 8. So you are given the values of x, you are supposed to fill the values of y. So here, what you need is just to take the values of x and substitute in our function here. So for example, when x is minus 2, y will be minus 2 squared, that will be 4. Minus 3 times minus 2, that will be minus 6. That will be positive 6. So this is 4. This is plus 6. And you add 6. So you get, this is 10. Plus 6 is 16. So you feel like that. When x is minus 1, then you say it's minus, this is minus 1 squared. Plus 3, that's 4. This will give you 10. Then you have when x is 0, you get 6. When x is 1, you get 4. When x is 2, you get 4 again. When x is 3, you get 6. When x is 4, you get 10. When x is 5, you get 16. Here you get 24. Here you get 34. And finally you get 46. So by getting those values, then you'll be able to get yourself 2 marks. Part B, we are told use trapezium rule with 10 stripes to estimate the area bounded by the curve y is equals to x squared minus 3x plus 6. The lines x is equals to minus 2, x is equals to 8, and the x-axis, you get your 3 marks. So the trapezium rule, this is part B. We say that area is equals to a half h. We put the brackets, then we have y1 plus yn, then we have plus 2, another bracket, we have y1 plus y2 plus all that plus yn minus 1, and you close the brackets. So we are going to use this will be this is the first trapezia, and this is the last one. So we just say area is equals to a half. The height is 1, so we put the bracket. The first y is 16. We add the last one, which is 46, and then we say plus 2. You put the bracket. This will give you 10. We have plus 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 10 plus 24 plus 34, and you close the bracket. And when you compute this, you should be able to get 145 square unit. So that is the area. We go to part C. Use the mid-ordinate rule with 5 stripes to estimate the area bounded by the curve. By the curve y is equals to that, y is equals to x squared plus minus 3x plus 6. The lines x is equals to minus 2, x is equals to 8, and x is equals to, and x-axis. So the mid-ordinate rule, we are given area is equals to height. You open the bracket. You have y1 plus y2, that is mid-ordinate, plus you go up to you add to y to yn. So this is equals to, we are going to say, since we are told to use 5 stripes, so we say the height will be 2, that is from minus 2 to 0 and 0 to 2. So that you add the mid-ordinates will be 10, will be 4, will be 6, will be 16, and 34. That will make 5 stripes, because that is 1, that is 2, then we have 3, then we have 4, that is 5. So this is equals to, we just put our mid-ordinates. So this is 10, this is plus 4, plus 6, plus 16, plus 34. So you close the bracket, and when you compute that, you will be able to get 140 square units. So that is the area using the mid-ordinate rule. So finally we go to D. By the integration, determine the actual area bounded by the curve y is equals to x squared minus 3x plus 6, and the lines x minus 2, x is equals to 8, and the x-axis. So here we are supposed to integrate. The lower limit should be minus 2 and 8. We integrate x squared minus 3x and then plus 6, and this is with respect to dx. This should give you, this is that x cubed, and then we have minus. When we integrate this, it will be 3x squared divided by 2, and we have plus 6x. We close the bracket. Our limits are minus 2 and 8. So what you do is you substitute. So you have that multiply. The dot implies multiplication. 8 to power 3. Then we have minus 3 over 2 multiplied by 8 squared, and then we have plus 6 multiplied by 8. So you close the bracket, and then you say minus, you substitute 2, so it is that you multiply by minus 2 cubed, this is multiplication, and then you have 3 over, this is 3 over 2 multiplied by minus 2, that is multiplied by minus 2 squared, plus 6 multiplied by minus 2. And you close this bracket again. So when you compute that, you can use your calculator and calculate that, and you'll be able to get the actual area is 143 and a third. You leave it in decimal, in a fraction form, that is square units. So that is the actual area, and that is how you work out that question. Question number 22, we are told using a pair of compasses and ruler only construct. So that instruction should be followed. You only use your compass and a ruler. If you use other instrument, you lose marks, because there will be marks that will be checked by the examiner. So Roman number 1, triangle ABC, in which AB is equals to 5 centimeter, angle BAC is equals to 30, and angle ABC is equals to 105. So here you are being tested whether you know how to construct angle 30, you know how to construct angle 105. So you start by, you can make a sketch here. You make a line, you measure 5 centimeter, that is 5 centimeter. This is our AB. Then you are told BAC is 30, BAC. So here, to get angle 30, you construct angle 60 and you bisect. So that is angle 60. You'll be able to get that. You bisect there, you'll be able to get half of that angle. So this is where your line should pass. This is angle 30. Then angle ABC is 105. How do you construct angle 105? You can construct angle you say angle 90, and you bisect angle 30, you get 15, so that will add up to 105 degrees. So you first of all construct angle 90, so that should give you angle 90. You construct angle 60 here by extending that should give you angle 60. You bisect this angle here, that should give you angle 15. So this means that your angle, so you extend those two lines until where they meet. That is where you locate our C. So from there you construct, so let's see how we go about it. A circle that passes through the vertices A, B, C. So to get a circle that touches the 3 vertices of a triangle, we bisect 2 sides where the line of the 2 lines of bisection meet. That is the center of the circle. So you extend your compass, you draw a circle. So from there, the height, you measure the height of, you measure the radius, the height of the angle ABC, which AB is. So you drop perpendicular from C, the way we do like that. You drop a perpendicular, then finally you measure that perpendicular line, then you determine the area. So that's how you go about this question, and it is possible you get all the marks. So let's go, let's do it. So you start by drawing a line where you measure 5 centimeter to come up with the line AB. Measure 5 centimeter and mark your points A and B to get that length of AB. So here you construct angle 60. And how do you construct angle 60? You measure a distance from A to a point there. Then you make 2 arcs here, and that will be angle 60. So this angle is 60, following the use of the property of equilateral triangle. So that is how you construct angle 60. Because we are looking for angle 30, that is angle BAC, you bisect the angle 60 by taking 2 points, that is that point and this, and you make 2 arcs here, and that should give you now the line AC. But we don't know how where AC C is, so we are going now to use we construct angle 105 to be able to locate our point C. Like I had explained from the beginning, we construct angle 90 and we add 15. So here I have used this point B to make 2 marks, and using those 2 marks, you make 2 marks there, and you should be able to come. There should be other 2 marks here. You come up with a perpendicular line, so that makes an angle of 90. After constructing an angle of 90, then I have constructed another angle 60, so that whatever this angle that will remain here is 30, we bisect that angle. So angle 60, just like we started, I have used point B, make a point there, use this point to make that mark, and this other point to make that mark. They have come. So this angle is 60 degrees. So, and this is 30. So if we bisect this angle 30, we will be able to come up with angle 15, in which when we add to 90, we will be able to get 45 or 105 degrees. Here I have bisected angle 30, as you can see here. So now I'll draw a line from B, and where the 2 lines intersect, that will be the point of C. So this line, where they intersect, that will be the position of C. So let me draw that. This is now angle 105, and we have located C. So that is how you construct angle 105 degrees by constructing angle 90, constructing 60, and what remains 30, you bisect, you'll be able to. So you have located part C, and we are supposed to measure the radius. When you measure the radius, measure the yet we are not yet constructed the circle. So we have now the triangle. Part B, let's say let's construct a circle that passes through the vertices of ABC. So we bisect AB and BC, where the 2 bisector cross each other. That will be the center. You extend your compass, you draw a circle. So in this section, I have bisected the line AB. You take your compass, you make a mark there, and on the other side, then B, you make your mark there, and the other side, you join the 2 points where the 2 crosses, where they cross each other, you come up with a perpendicular. So then we now go ahead and bisect BC. So just like we have done with the AB, here I have bisected BC using the same procedure, and you can see now this is a bisector of AB, this is bisector of BC. They meet at this point. Now, using that point as the center of the circle, extend your compass to where we have C, or we have A, or we have B, and make a circle that touches the 3 vertices of the triangle. This is a circle that I've constructed using that is a center, and now that you come up with a circle that touches the 3 vertices of the triangle ABC. So you are required to measure the radius. So from this point, can extend your divider either to A, B, or C, and you measure the radius. So that radius is equals to 3.5. You can put the error allowance of 0.1. So that is the length of the radius. Then we are told to drop a perpendicular. Okay, the height of a triangle ABC with AB as a base. Measure the height. So from C, you make 2 marks here, and using those 2 marks, you make other 2 marks using this point, and then you join you come up with a perpendicular. Then you measure that perpendicular. We now have the radius and we have the height. This is our height. Part B, determine the area of the circle that lies outside the area of a triangle, correct to 2 decimal places. So the area of the circle that is outside the triangle, we can say area outside is equals to area of circle minus area of triangle ABC. So the area, since we have the radius of the circle, then we have it is 20. Area is equals to pi r squared, 22/7, multiplied by 3.5, that is the radius. Then you minus a half, multiplied by base is 5, and the height is 3.4. So you can work out that, and you'll be able to get the area outside the area of the circle outside the triangle is 29.98 approximately centimeter squared. So that is how you work out that question. If you are careful, you can get that question, full mark of this question, very easily if you follow the instructions as required. So let's go to the next question. Question number 23, we are told the figure below represents a piece of land in the shape of a quadrilateral in which AB is equals to 240, BC is equals to 70 meters, CD is equals to 200 meters, and angle BCD is equals to 150. And ABC is equals to 90. So we are told calculate part A, the size of angle BAC, correct to 2 decimal places, and you get 2 marks. So where is our angle ABAC? We can join the line AC, and we get now the angle BAC. So let me do that. So that is our angle. So this is our angle that we are looking for. That is angle BAC. So that is the theta. So we can use a trig ratio, and we say that this is we can use tan theta is equals to opposite, which is 70. You divide by the adjacent, which is 240, which will give you this will give you 0.2917. So which is you can now get the tan inverse of that, and you get theta is equals to 16.26 degrees. So that is how you get that angle BAC. So we go to part B, the length AD, correct to 1 decimal place. The length AD, we can first of all get AC, so that with AC, now that we know this is 16.26, we can be able to get this angle, which is 90. We can say it is 90 minus 16.26. So this will give you 4. This is 97. This is 9. So that will be 3. This is 8. So this is 73.74. So that is a degree. So with that, we can get this angle, which is 150. 150, you get that angle. You can say it is 150. You minus 73.74. That will give you, this is 6. This is 2. That's a decimal point. So this is 9 minus 3. That will give you 6. This is 14 minus, so that is 76 point. So this means it is 76.26. So with these are degrees. So with those angles, Let's find our AD. Our AC is equals to, using the Pythagoras theorem, we say it is a square root of the square root of 70 squared plus 240, and when you use your calculator you should be able to get 250 meters. So this is 250 meters. So with that and the angle, we have the angle, we can be able to get the AD. So we say AD squared is equals to 200, that is DC plus 250 squared minus 2 A, that is times 200 times 250, the cosine, that is 250, the cosine of angle, we get it is 76.26. Using your calculator, you should be able to get AD. You get that it is a square root. You get the square root, and that will give you 280. You can do that because I'm limited by the space I have. So you get that is 280 meters. So we can say this is 280 meters. Point. We have part C. We are required to find the area of the piece of land in hectares correct to 2 decimal places. So to get the area, we can get the area of that triangle and we add the area of that triangle. So we say area, that is area is equals to, we said for this, it is a right angle triangle. So we say it as a half base. A base is 240 multiplied by the height, that is 70. Then you add the other angle. Since we have found the angle ACD is 73.474, we use that angle and the two sides. So we say it is a half. You multiply by the one side is 250. Then we have multiply by the other side is 200. That is ACD. The sign of the sign of 76.26. That is the angle. So with that, this is the other formula of finding the area of a triangle. So this will give you, this you get, it is 8,400, and when you compute using your calculator, the other one you get, it is 24. That is 24,000, and we have 284.59, which when you add, you'll be able to get, this is 32,684.59 meters squared. Now that you know that 10,000 meters square is equals to 1 hectare. So to express this in terms of hectare, you say it is 32,684.59. You divide by 10,000, and that will give you, when you divide this, will give you 3.27, and this is to 2 decimal places. These are now, we say these are hectares. So that means that we have that is hectare, and this is 2 decimal places. So that's how you work out that question, and when you get to that level, then you get yourself 10 marks. 4, we are told the equation of a curve is given by y is equals to x cubed minus 4x squared minus 3x. A, find the value of y when x is equals to minus 1. So to do that, all what you need is to replace 1 minus 1 in place of y. So from our equation, the function here, we have y is equals to minus 1 raised to power 3. then minus 4, you multiply. The dot implies multiplication. This is minus 1 squared minus 3 multiplied by minus 1. So this will give you, this is minus 1 cubed will give you minus 1. This is minus 1 squared is 1. So times 4 becomes minus 4. Then this is minus 1 times minus 3 becomes positive 3. So minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5. Minus 5 plus 3, you get it is minus 2. So that's how you are supposed to do that. Then we have determined the stationary points of the curve. So part B, we say this is B. Stationary points, we know the gradient function should be equals to 0 at stationary point. So we need to differentiate this to get the gradient function. So it means dy over dx is equals to, this will give you 3x squared minus 8x minus 3. When you are differentiating, multiply 3 times x, you minus 1 from 3, then minus 2 times 4, that is 8. We must subtract 1 from 2, like that. So, so we say at the stationary point, is at stationary point, dy over dx is equals to 0. So this means that 3x squared minus 8x minus 3 is equals to 0, which you can factorize. When you factorize this, you multiply 3 times minus 3, that becomes minus 9. Minus 9, you get two numbers such that when you multiply them, you get minus 9. When you add them, you get minus 8. So these numbers, we can rewrite our expression as 3x squared minus 9x plus x, and then we have minus 3 is equals to 0. And when you factorize this, you get 3x. This is 3x plus 1, and we have x minus 3 is equals to 0, implying that x is equals to 3, or x is equals to minus 1 over 3. So those are the determine the stationary points of the curve. So these are the stationary points of our curve. Then we got part C, which will say it is so this is our C. Find the equation of the stationary, find the equation of the normal to the curve. At x is equals to 1, since we have already calculated the gradient, we find dy over dx is equals to, we substitute the value of x by 1. So we have 3 multiplied by 1, the dot implies multiplication, this is squared, minus 8 dot 1 multiplied by 1 minus 3, and this will give you 3 minus 8 minus 3. So 3 minus 3 is 0, so it means dy over dx is equals to minus 8. This is the gradient of the tangent. So what it means is that the gradient of the normal, which is perpendicular to the, normally when we have a curve, if this is a tangent, then the normal is the line that makes an angle of, or perpendicular to that tangent. And we know that perpendicular lines, the product of their gradient is minus 1. So it means the gradient of the normal is equals to 1 over 8, so that when you multiply 1 over 8 times minus 8, you get minus 1. So with that, we can be able to get the gradient, we get the gradient, and then from there, we need a point. Since we are told that x is equals to 1, we find y is equals to, we substitute in our function, this one. So we'll be able to get this is equals to, this is 1 cubed, and then we have minus 4 multiplied by 1 squared minus 3 multiplied by 1, which will give you, this is 1 minus 4, then we have minus 3, and this gives you, this is minus 6. 1 minus 4 is minus 3, minus 3 will give you minus 6. So the other point is, so one point that we have, x is 1 and y is minus 6. So we now the gradient, and 1 point, we can get the equation. So y minus minus 6 divided by x minus 1 is equals to minus 1 over 8. You cross multiply, you get y plus 6 is equals to minus 1 over 8, and this will give you minus this is minus 1, so that will give you, we are multiplying 1 minus, this is minus 1, and that will give you minus 1 over 8. Take 6 to the other side, you have y is equals to, here we have x minus 1 over 8x, and this will be minus, so it will be minus 6 and 1 over 8. So when you write it in proper form, then you have our y is equals to minus 1 over 8x, and this will be minus 49 over 8. So that's how you work out that question, and you get yourself 10 marks. So what we need to know here is that this is not a question that will come in the exam. And what are you expected to know? So you should know that at the stationary point, the gradient is always equals to 0. dy dx is 0, or the gradient function is 0. That is very important. And then you should also know what do you need to get the equation of a line. That is, you need the gradient, there, and you need another point. This is this you learned in Form 2, so that is very important. And then of course the general manipulation of that. So that's how you do that, and I hope you have understood. Get more of this, subscribe to this channel, then click this icon to get notification whenever I produce a new video. You can call or WhatsApp me if you have any questions or you want to book an online class.